Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Saul Hobbs and I am an affiliate marketer. I also own a digital marketing agency here in Texas, and I like to share some of the best practices I've developed along the way and also add some tips that will help you to be a better affiliate marketer. Let me go over the 3 P's that for me kind of set the tone for what I do. First one starts with me, the individual, and I let my values and my core beliefs infuse my marketing. I put myself in the place of the customer, and I am customer-centric, meaning that I want to offer my customers something of value. My process is centered around the customer and what would be valuable for them and what would be quality for them. Then I pick my products based on the same values and the same process. Only quality products. This week's been an interesting one with affiliate marketing because there are a lot of products that have come out and a lot of them are junk and a lot of them aren't. I've only bought 3, but 2 of them are definitely going to tie into my strategy for digital marketing. It centers less around affiliate marketing, pushing out to the masses, and how it centers more around my core business, which is software as a service. It's easier for me and more lucrative for me to do that than just to do a lot of the traditional things. It's teaching people or engaging people on that personal one-to-one level, be it business to business, B2B, or affiliate marketer to consumer. I found that to be true. So I'll share an experience with you that I've had over the last 2 days with bad affiliate marketers. First off, I get bombarded by about 100 guys with the same thing. That's why I give them my dummy email that the only thing that goes there is affiliate marketers. So it doesn't tie up my day trying to find what I actually need to find instead of dealing with them. I recommend it if you're an affiliate marketer. I bought a product that seemed interesting, that could help me with what I do, which is software as a service. It could help me big time. I didn't know whether it would be capable of fitting in and helping me that way, but I was willing to give it a try. So I purchased it through PayPal, of course, because no way I'm going to leave myself out there at the mercy of someone that may or may not be honest. Let's just put it out there. A lot of affiliate marketers I don't think are honest. In fact, I think they're the opposite. They're like car salesmen. So I pay for the product. I get the receipt in my email and a welcome. No, I didn't even get a welcome. I'll take that back. I get the receipt. So I go to JVZoo, and at the bottom of JVZoo receipts, it shows how to access the product. Some of them do it that way, no problem. But usually when you click on that link, they will tell you to go to their site or to go look for the email with your login credentials. Well, 2 hours pass, 3 hours pass, no login credentials. So I go to the support site and I send them an email following their instructions to send a copy of the transaction. Crickets. The next day, crickets. So at noon the next day, I send them another email. No response. So by that evening, I've given up. I'm done with them. They can sell me nothing else. And I write them an email. I tell them, last chance. If I don't have the credentials in the morning, I'm going through PayPal. And going through PayPal is a process that you shouldn't be taken lightly. You should only do it as a last resort. And for me, I'm pretty much at the end of the road because I didn't get what I paid for up front. So forget the 30 days and all of that, we're done. So when you go through PayPal can, depending on how many complaints they have, which they probably have a few based on how they handle this, PayPal can completely freeze your money. So I don't hate on people. I don't do things like that lightly, like I said, but I'm done. I want my money back. That's it. You had a chance. You blew the chance. You know, the sale is only one part of it. Like as an affiliate marketer or as just a digital marketer, when I sell someone a product, I would be an idiot to just to think that's the end of the process. They may need training, they need tips. There's lots of ways I can provide value to them, even if all they want is software. I'm fine with that. But I still have an obligation to support that software to the best of my ability. And I take that seriously. So obviously these people did not take that seriously. I don't care how many glowing recommendations they have from, the main spokesman on most of these products, which he's out there. His name's on that too, so I look at him different right now. More critically anyway, not different, but just with a more critical eye. So I have my money back. It's done. And I'm sure that Monday, they'll be, well, why did JV Zoo marketers hate for you to go through PayPal because it creates problems for them and it'll cost them with PayPal in the long run. You'll have to get an outside source which will charge you more of a percentage of your sale. So I'm just done with that, and that's just one lesson of bad affiliate marketing, bad sales in general. You have to walk through from start to finish, and if you put yourself in your customer's shoes, you would know what the right thing is to do. The right thing is not on the day that you launch to go out. The right thing to do is to complete the day. The day is not done. Really, your sales cycle is not done until your launch is finished, usually a week, 2 weeks later. So slow down and complete all your processes as an affiliate marketer. Don't abandon your clients. If they have a problem and they reach out to you, you have a slight obligation to deal with it because you're the one that brought it to them. You can look at it in a lot of different ways, but you're in the middle, so you have an obligation to make sure that they're taken care of, or at least I feel I do. So that's really bad affiliate marketing. What I was going to do this morning, and I'll do it another day, was read some copy from an actual launch that happened this week that's just awful. And it doesn't matter who recommends these people or pushes them or whatever. If you guys aren't paying attention to the little bitty details, like I say, I'm a detail guy. I catch things. I'm a big picture person, but the details don't escape me just because I'm a big picture guy. So there's that. Now, after that, like I say, I was going to read some copy, but my attorney hasn't gotten back to me whether that's a good idea or not. She leaned towards it not being a good idea because it would be easy enough to figure out who it was, and they may feel some type of way about that. On a personal level, I'm okay with that, but from a legal level, legal responsibility, it's probably not smart. So I'm going to let that go for now, and I'm going to make a more generic copy. That way you can't figure out who it is, and they can't figure out who it is and think that I'm throwing shade on them. Although really, you're the one that wrote it. You're the one that's trying to sell something, and to go along with that, I've already noticed that they've significantly reduced the price. So the 10,000 emails I've gotten saying this is the thing I need to have, like I said the other day, they're saying it's the best and the greatest. Well, there's only offers 4 apps that you can use to do software as a service, and I have one that has 12 and I can make it 16. So you be the judge of what's more valued, 16, or let's just go with the basic version, 12 apps, or 4. They both do the same thing. The 4 apps they have do the same thing. The 4 apps I have that do. But I have 8 more apps. So, moving right along. Back to process. Let's see. I said I would talk a little bit about picking products and creating a landing page or a post for a product. How many people know what a list post is? A list post is an article in list form. It could have a number of reasons for the product, tips on how to use the product, the methods with which you would use it, or you use it, shortcuts with it. It just tips, just in general, in a list form, going down a list of, it could be pros and cons, all the great things it could do, whatever. I've written list post articles on the top 5 things for summer, for example, to sell on Amazon with tie-ins to Amazon or a direct site that I've had access to. So that's an example of a list post, and it's the most popular form of post in social media shares. And next is an infographic, but I'll get into that one another time. So that's something you should be familiar with. Even if you didn't know you were using it, you're probably using it if you're copying, cut, and paste anyway. And I'm curious also, how much time do you spend a day working on your job or your hustle or whatever you want to call it? For me, with just my own agency, that takes up about 10 hours of my day. But I'm an early riser. I'm up at usually 3:30. I get a run in, walk the dogs, kiss the kids, and then out the door to do my business. Then, either during the day or after that day, because I like to think that I'm on the momentum side of the flywheel, that it's a little bit easier for me. And I use mostly the subscriber method of marketing products now, since I have quite a big list of people to market to. So I use less of the things that they don't want. Now, one thing I use after picking a product on say JVZoo, I look for how long it's been around, the overall number of units that it has, and then I go a step further and I look at the return rate. I like return rates that are less than 5%. I'll take them at less than 10% if, say, on the main sale is like 3.49, and then on the funnels, or on the main sale it's 6%, and on the funnels it's 3%. Let's just do it that nice round number. So that evens out to 4.5%, or actually probably the funnels sold more, so it's actually closer to 3%, which I'm comfortable with. That if the product's been around for a while, then that means that they support it, and support is important on these products because they come out every day. Just this week, there's been 3 video makers that I just have to have, and music maker that this is my last chance to get that, so on and so forth. Some of the products are good, but for me, I just use common sense with them. If they're a bunch of video products, I may look at a few and nothing catches my attention, then I move on. But I do a lot of questionnaires in my own marketing to find out what direction what things people would like to see presented to them, and what direction marketing in general is going in, because this is not a static business. Technology is heavily used in affiliate marketing. We use it every day, and technology is changing so fast. Just like Google's core changed last year. It actually changed 3 times last year. It changed in January, a major one, and then the 2 that were supposed to be not major, the one that came out in May, changed SEO for major corporations. Some of the major corporations that usually are untouchable had problems because Spotify, WebMD, a couple of other medical sites that are usually very popular were all of a sudden forced to adapt to the circumstances and to be ranked higher because they dropped, and it just flipped everything on its head. So you have to be willing to adapt, because I saw a TED Talk about maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago, somewhere around there. I like TED Talks. Where the speaker said it was focused on technology and technological advances moving forward over the next 25 years. And the speaker, it always stuck with me, said technology is going to move faster than it has ever moved at any time in human existence. 1,000 times faster than it's ever moved. And that's almost incomprehensible. But it's true. So with that, as an affiliate marketer, you need to be able to adapt to change. If you can't adapt to change, then you'll get left behind. And what worked a year ago and put you on the front page isn't necessarily what's going to work today. So you're going to have to up your game. And for me, I tend to I read the whole core content article, and it was totally confusing, but I can break it down and I'll post it on my page where you can download it for free. You can sign up if you want for updates or a newsletter that I offer. I offer the same newsletter to some of my paid clients on things that are changing or how to a better technique for using something. Once I find it out, I pass it on. So when it comes to SEO, one of my big tools is SEO Yoast. I don't know if you've heard of it, but SEO Yoast is a service that it will help you to make sure your post or even your website is optimized. And it'll offer you tips. It'll give you a list of things that are wrong with a post, for instance, and then you just go down and check it. And you do as many as you want to do to get it over in the 50. Really 45 is considered good, but 45 out of 100 is considered a good post. But I like to go 60 or above, really 70 is even better as far as following their instructions. I'll get into that in a minute, but I have a couple of things on tables and whatnot on SEO strategy. Okay, first, with search engine optimization, you want your content. You're going to look at your content. Your content has to be quality, relevant, and it has to have a decent word count. So just repeating the same paragraph or the same facts over and over and just writing them different is not quality content. You're going to have to figure out, use some more words. Be more wordy. That's what my wife used to say. But you're going to have to come with some different angles. Then next after content is social. Hopefully you can make it viral, and how you're going to make it viral is you're going to have it be searchable by Google standards to rank higher. And if it's on the front page, chances are you're good. Yesterday I was working on something, and I used TubeBuddy as well, and I'll provide a link to that. I do get compensation for that if you buy the Pro, Starter, or Legendary version. I use a Star version because that has almost every feature except one or two, and it's when you do a YouTube video or even on a lot of different things, it has more applications than that. But there's a free version, and the free version is good when you're starting out. But after a while, when you start getting competent, you'll probably want to upgrade. That's how I did. I started out with a free version, so you can go there and get the free version and attach it to your videos on YouTube, and it will break down, it will give you a guide. Same thing like SEO Yoast, which SEO Yoast comes with usually with WordPress. It's a free version. I do not get compensated by them to use it, but I still use it because it's valuable. It's invaluable, really. It'll have you on the right course quicker than you trying to figure out exactly what you missed. It'll catch everything. And so anyway, you want to be viral. You want to be marketable. You want to be engaging. That's how you're going to do your social. Those are 3 bullet points from social. And then usability, the design, your interface, how you interact with the customer, how your article or video interacts with the customer and their experience. Then after that, the analytics, actually link building, which is your natural links that are going to come in the article. Remember, backlinks follow or do follows and do not follows. You want to stick to do follows from authoritative sources, and you want to make sure that for my goal is for each paragraph, if there's a different term in there, I'm going to link it. And I'm going to link it from an authority. I'm not going to link it from Jim Bob's blog post, because Jim Bob may or may not be an authority. He could be, but he's probably not. Like on one I did for a business related product, I used Entrepreneur, Forbes, Income Magazine, Money Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times. Doesn't get any higher as far as authority than them. For good measure, I threw in Quora blog post by one of their staff writers, a Medium blog post from a staff writer, and a couple of other sources like Statistica, but Statistica is a paid thing, so I pay for it because I use it in business, but I use those just as an example to you of do follows. They have to be high authorities to get you high ranking, and the content has to be relevant to the article. You can't just take an article just because it mentions, say, software, and just attach it because it's a Forbes. If it said, like, say for instance, if you're selling video creator software, or you're writing for an ad that has creators content in it, it has to stick to that, or at least start out with that. That has to be prominent because Google will analyze it, and if it doesn't make sense, it goes to don't follow. So there's that, your link building. Then your keywords. Keywords are vital too. Your research on keywords, that's where SEO Yoast and TubeBuddy both come in, because if you type in and you have TubeBuddy hooked up to your creator account, and say you type in a keyword for male autoresponders, it's going to search, and if it doesn't find anything, that's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but if you want links or keywords and you don't want to have to invent them, because they'll just give you the top, however many there are, they'll list them all there, but you can only use a few anyway. So you want to use about 5 good keywords, and TubeBuddy will help you with that. It just shows them right there, and you can just click it on and it adds it to your content. Then your hashtags, which your keywords are going to become your hashtags in YouTube. But With SEO Yoast, it will tell you that you don't have any hashtags, or your permalink is too long. You don't want to have a long permalink. You just want to have a quick loading page. With that, you have to, you want to compress your photos. You want to do everything you can to make your page load as fast as it can, which is a top flight cache. And the tags, your pictures have to stick to a certain amount of space. And there are lots of good free products. I use some paid products, but one free one on WordPress sites is Smush. That's what it's called, Smush. And it will compress your pictures, but it only does 50 at a time, the free version. But it's free, and it's highly recommended. It's got over 200,000 downloads, so it's good. You have to be careful with free WordPress plugins, because not all free is, well, you get what you pay for. But with that, it's a good one. TubeBuddy's another good free service. Moving along from that, you do your on-page optimization. That's what we were just talking about. And then you do your primary and secondary, which I guess your off-page optimization is secondary. Then your analytics, which if you have, like I say, SEO Yoast and TubeBuddy, your analytics are going to be built into your finishing out your page. They do it for you. Why? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Don't. Just go ahead and get what you need, especially if it's in a free form and it's from an established company. TubeBuddy has a reputation. They're the number one add-on for YouTube, I believe. And they support their product like crazy. They have influencers that break down the tutorials, like experts on SEO use TubeBuddy, and they've contracted with them to provide tutorials. They provide tutorials on just different sections, and when you're using it on a video, it'll let you know when you need a thumbnail. It's time for the thumbnail, for your cover. When you need to add cards, it goes through, just walks you down a list of everything you need to do. And real good product. So that's enough on the SEO for right now, but I'll give you some statistics on online shopping. Men versus women. Women do 72% of online shopping, and men do 68%. And how that breaks down is, what would you think would be the biggest area that women shop in? For me, I'd say instantly clothes, right? Well, it's the same category for men and women. Women just slightly outdo men. Women shop for 40% of clothes and sports goods, and men shop 40%. Then after that comes travel. Men do 37% of the travel shopping online, and women do 35%. And then after that comes household goods. Men do 32% of their shopping online, women do 30%. And so on and so forth. I'll include that. That is a e-commerce source that provided that, but I'll post that too. And another statistics are bad in these videos. It doesn't. If I would have had everything set up, I could show you just as we go. In the two top countries for online sales by volume per person are the United States and the United Kingdom. In the United States, the average shopper spends $1,804. In the United Kingdom, it's $1,629, which isn't that far off. And then Sweden's after that, and France. But as far as SEO, I'll include an actual Well, the diagnosis on on the post, not the post, and on a couple other things. I'll like on my SEO on TubeBuddy. I'll also include that. Um, Screen grab, but not the post. You can it may or may not be on the top of it, but on SEO Yoast, it's further down the page, so I just squared that off, and I used a free um, app for that, a free service for that called Cloud App, and of course you can get that for free online, and it's a platform where your whole team can work on a project together, but the free version you can only use 50 screen grabs at a time. And then you can, like, if you have a project like a web page that multi people are working on or a video, you can go on there and then you can show them just what you don't like, leave notes, what you want to change. It's free. Eventually, I'll include that on my resource page that I'm working on slowly. So with SEO Yoast, the first thing it goes with is you want all happy faces, green, not red. I've got a red on this one I did, and I took the article that I was going to do for copyright and put it in there. But the first red one is for readability. It says the text contains 5 consecutive sentences starting with the same word, so try to mix things up. Then it says subheadline distribution. One section of your text is longer than 300 words and it's not separated by any subheadings. It's poor writing. So I think the guy could have written better if he had a proper understanding of English language and sentence construction, because the sentences are just crazy, and he emphasizes every word except the consonants. You know, why are you screaming at me? Basically, you're sitting there emphasizing every word. Every word's not a key word, so you can save that. If you ever taken public speaking, you would know that, or learn how to be an effective communicator. You don't have to scream for everything. Then it's transition words. Only 8.2% of the sentences contain transition words. Again, having a little bit of knowledge of how to speak well, or looking at your writing with a critical eye, or having someone else even look at it, or better yet, write it, would solve that probably. And one of my main tools is Grammarly. It's free. It'll look at all your sentence structure and it'll provide you with recommendations. The pro version will definitely tell you if it sounds business formal or casual or whatever. So another free tool, Grammarly. Here's some tips on products. They're not mine. Whether you're serving consumers B2C or businesses B2B, your small business needs to offer the right products for your customers. And this is from Marcus Lemonis. The product line should be practical, purposeful, and profitable. There goes those 3 P's again. 6 tips for capitalizing on products. Sell to new markets. And that's kind of my focus in my digital marketing right now. I've come up with an idea, and I have a business plan in place that's what I've been working on, to market directly to them, but in a more effective and a broader reach, meaning I have a way to market to almost every local business and in a given niche. Say auto dealers. Hate dealing with them, but they like to pay for ad content. So I found a way to present to them where they won't be turned off by it. It should be pretty effective because I've had 100% effectiveness with it, and that's going 5 for 5 with marketing. It's basically dealing with their vanity because they're salesmen to the core. So you have to appeal to what appeals to them, which is how great they are, I guess. So selling to new markets, perhaps the sales representative or online store. Um, Consider licensing opportunities that could generate income from fees. Conduct surveys and hold focus groups to identify customer trends, which is what I did, what I talked about a little while ago. I started doing that a couple months ago. Excellent idea. I recommend it even if you're just marketing direct to consumers. Take a little time to see. A lot of people don't want to take the time. I never do. I don't have time for a lot of surveys, but some I do, and some I'll participate in if I feel that it's beneficial to me. And finding out what your customers actually want, which I've done that with on the consumer end, my subscriber list, and out of 1,000, I think I got 50 honest answers, or 50 people to participate. I don't know how honest some of the answers were, but we collated that information and put together and came up with a little bit better marketing plan that I like to think is a little bit more effective. So that was number 3, conducting surveys and identifying customer trends. Then you want to monitor customer ratings and review sites to see how your products are received. And that's very important. And that's why I say, as an affiliate marketer, you can't afford to disenfranchise the people on your subscriber list, your customer base, because people are fickle and you can offend people really easily, especially today. People are really sensitive. And if they don't feel like you're treating them like they're important, that's enough. That's all it takes. So keep up with how you're being perceived to your customers. And then number 5 is look for ways to offer new and improved products to your current customers. That's what I've taken my surveys and come up with, is a new and improved way of marketing to them. Plus a little bit of technology never hurts. Then create cross-selling and upselling opportunities by expanding your product line. Let me tell you one of the things I hate about affiliate marketers, and it's questionable. Okay, if you sell me, if you give me the option between, it's the OTOs, the sales funnel, and the problem with the sales funnel in its current form is it doesn't present itself in a way that, I don't want to say dishonest, but it's BS, okay? If I buy a commercial version from you, commercial means commercial. That means I have seller rights. You're going to give me more value because I'm spending a little bit more. You shouldn't offer it for $5 more if you want to just turn around and try to hit me up for double the price later on. I don't respond very well to that, and a lot of people don't. Some people do. Some people will buy anything, and that's great. And you can sell it to them. I have in the past, but I like I say, I like to focus on value. If I'm going to sell you something, like if I sell my customers software, and I'm going to stick to all the claims that I make. If it's commercial, then it's commercial. If they can resell it, they can resell it. I'm not going to nickel and dime you. I'm just going to say, here's the price. You either are willing to pay that, or you're going to stick with the single-use product. Either way is okay. But don't sell someone a commercial version that's just like a light version. You know, what the hell is a light version? Seriously, just sell me the whole version. Give me the chance to get the whole version without all of these stupid steps, because I don't want the steps. I want either the product, or either that product, or I'm going to stick to the other one. And most of the time I just get the first one, and we'll just see how it goes, see how limiting it is. And if it's limiting, hey, I'm not going to get the rest of it because I already see that this didn't fulfill the promises that it stated, the stated promises. I'll give you an example of that. I bought a product from a company about 2 months ago, and they didn't make their sales funnel very well because they offered a yearly access to the full product. This is just how it was written, to the full product for $5, and it was on the very first page of their little sales funnel. So of course, anybody with any sense is gonna, okay, I'll try that one. I'll go with the trial. And then now I buy it and it's working with the full access to the whole thing. And then all of a sudden they realize their mistake and they go back and they cut it off. Well, I pick up the phone and call my attorney because my attorney sees that as a dream scenario. You cannot switch up in the middle of a contract. Once I pay, the contract is in force. And that's pretty much how it shook out. After they found out how expensive it was going to be to fight it. So I got the full product, which is what I paid for $5. Now they sell it for $500, which that should have been the first step. But they didn't want to run people off with $500. So like I say, a lack of knowledge and you operating in bad faith is not the consumer's problem. So you have to make sure you have a good sales funnel, and we'll cover that in another section because sales funnels are not my favorite thing. They're easy to do, but you have to do them in a logical manner that makes sense, and you can't do them in a nonsensical manner like you're selling a jalopy that you got for $100 at the auction and you just cleaned it up and poured a bunch of gear oil in it to make it run smoothly for a little while until somebody drives off the lot. It's basically what they're trying to do, is a used car sales technique. So their mistake cost them a lot of money. I don't know if it cost them a bunch of money from other people, but with me, it's not that I want to litigate, but if you're so outrageous with what you do, then I'm going to call you on it. It's incumbent upon me to point it out. And I didn't go into that thinking that with a bad heart and in a bad way. I saw what was offered. I read it over thoroughly. I captured a screenshot of it, everything I was supposed to do, because I don't trust those guys. The reputation is just terrible. So I get a screenshot of everything that I purchased to make sure everything that's supposed to be there is there for the price that I paid. And they might have been really mad, and then after that, I just didn't even use it because I'm done with you. You don't operate on the up and up. So to make matters worse, a couple of weeks later, about a month later, sometime this last month, they had this edition that you just had to have that could increase your sales to $10,000 a month. Make outrageous claims. Just stick to realistic claims. It's good enough. If it's good enough as a product, it'll sell. Well, they had some blowhard salesman on there that, he's one of the top guys somewhere over in the UK or something like that. Well, the UK doesn't always translate to America. And how I mean by that is he started talking and I fell asleep. So when I woke up 20 minutes later, I just turned the thing off. Obviously, one of his first statements were, if you can engage the customer and make them pay attention to you, totally ego-based, then you've got them, is basically what he was saying. Well, he kept talking on and on and on and just teasing and teasing. Man, I work about 12 hours a day on average, so I don't have time to sit there for 2 hours and listen to you get to the point. Just get to the point. Don't make it, drag it out. Just get to the point and then answer people's questions. That will take 2 hours just to answer questions. Don't keep having people go, I want to see everybody put a 1 in there if you agree with me. Forget that. You're trying to engage people, but it's a failure, you know? And I apologize for looking over the other way. I'm on my iPad today, so I always have problems with where the little dot is. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I've been talking for a while, and I sound like a blowhard now. I realize it. But I will put a page up with some of the diagrams I said today and some of the tips I said today, and it's free. If you want to subscribe to a newsletter that I put out, and I put one out for businesses, I'll put a different one out for you guys, consumers, or if you're business. But the resources will be there within a day, and you can just get them. I'll try to put the links in the video when I put this video up, because I'm just going to put a snippet of it up on TikTok and the rest of it on YouTube. So with that, happy Saturday. Go out and enjoy yourself. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself a little bit, take a break from the grind, then get back after it later on. But everybody be safe, and thank you for watching. I hope I provide some value to you and at least give you a perspective to think about. And you know, just try to conduct your life in a way that represents the values you believe in. Don't be one person at home and another person at work, because the two should align to an extent. If you say you're a person of integrity, market that way. Be who you are, and that's good enough. Okay, because your best work is still ahead of you. So everybody, take care. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Goodbye.